and the outdoors elk hunting has opened up across the West. Dove, geese, deer, squirrel. Hunting season is in full swing across America. Hopefully, if you are married or if you have a significant other or just one of those friendly people, you sucked up all off season long, so or annoyed them enough where they're happy to see you out of the house now. How you doing today, Dustin?
I'm doing pretty good. I don't have to worry about any of that. I can do as I please.
Yeah, no, my wife finally, when I said I was going hunting the other day, she's like, about damn time. Oh man, yeah, it's been looks like it's been an interesting hunting season so far out west. We see big elk, big deer being taken, big pronghorn, there's some goofy horn up pronghorn being taken out. I mean, we'll get it later in the show. Big alligators, a big dove. If you're going to Canada, you can't bring your birds back. And it's just been so far. It's been a fun season, eh?
Starting out that way.
Yeah. Oh, sounds like you had a fun weekend, huh?
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. How was that? I saw on Headline Outdoors that Adam did a tree stand safety class. How was that?
That was actually interesting. We did that last year,
Last year?
but the gentleman, showed the proper techniques. Putting on your harness, going up and down. 3 points of contact as you're entering and leaving the stand. Leave your weapon on the ground. The part I enjoyed was he actually showed you how to retie the sliding knot if it ever comes untied or whatever.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I mean, you hear it every year. People falling out of tree stands. Just got to be safe up there. I mean,
And it's
a
not
fun way.
actually you falling out of a stand. It's something can happen. I've had, the screw in steps on this tree and one pull out.
Yeah.
And you turn into a tree hugger real fast.
Yeah, no, I bet. I haven't tree stand hunted in a very long time, but I know I'm trying to kind of get into that a little bit more out here just to switch it up a little bit on some of the watering holes. Definitely can't wait to need to watch it a little bit more and get some good information so I can be here and y'all can see my smiling face. Oh, well, as hunting season opens up, we talked about earlier in the year, you can hunt elk in Virginia, the Virginia, whatever you guys are out there now, the TGIR, TGIF Fridays.
Went from game and inland fisheries to DNR, DWR, whatever they are. Richmond is what I call
them. Yeah, but they got an elk cam up, so we're definitely gonna put a link in there so you can see the fruits, I guess, of the donations that you have given year after year to hunt out in Virginia, and if you've donated to different national programs such as Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. I'm not sure the other partners that brought it in Virginia. You'll be able to see the elk, listen to them. Be really cool. Get you ready to put in for the elk next year in Virginia and get your heart broken like I did. But it's gonna be pretty cool. Definitely, it'll be in the link to this podcast. Also, will be on our Facebook and our Instagram. But Instagram, you'll just have to figure it out. Come to the podcast and follow the link that way. But if you are planning to hunt with our neighbors up north in Canada this year, you're gonna. It's very interesting. They have banned game birds in search and control zones of Canada. Now, the interesting thing is how are you going to be able, one, to find if your bird flew through the control zone? I mean, you aren't going to know that. We'll have the link to the control zones again on everything else. We can look it up. We'll have an article linked as well, so you can read a lot more into it if you're one of those reading types that want to go back. But essentially what happened is the United States Department of Agriculture, Animal Plant Health Inspection Service, APHIS, has issued a statement banning hunter harvested birds in Canada to come into the US. Now, they're saying, one, you can get a USDA taxidermist in Canada to do your birds and bring it back, or you can cook the meat and bring it back to here in America. Now, this is where it gets tricky. To legally, according to the United States Fish and Wildlife Service, to bring a bird back into the United States of America from Mexico or Canada, you need to have a wing attached so they can identify a bird. Now, does APHIS not know that you have to have the wing attached, or they're telling you can bring cooked bird back or smoked bird? It's just, it goes against the Lacey Act to bring that bird back because it can't be identified. So they're telling you if you want to bring it back, you can break the law, I guess, in a sense. Or you can cook your bird with a wing in it.
They leave it so gray like that. So you can't breast a bird out, vacuum seal it, and bring it back. You can't do that.
Or you can leave a wing attached. I mean, that's just crossing the borders here in the U.S. It's part of the Lacey Act. Like from Mexico, it's the same thing. This law has actually been like the ruling with the taxidermy birds from Mexico has been a thing. They have to get a USDA taxidermist in Mexico to bring it back that's accredited, that they can clean it out and all that. But they're saying if you want to bring like a goose meat or your duck meat back, it has to be cooked, but you have to have a wing attached to legally bring it back. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I guess you're going to be eating well in Canada. It's gonna be one of those TV shows, To Catch a Smuggler, Canadian Geese Edition. People can be smuggling their goose back.
Are they diseased or claiming they're like the CWD thing where you can't transport a deer across certain lines?
Yeah, essentially that's what's happening. The reason behind the ban is there's like a severe outbreak of avian influenza in certain parts of Canada, and they're trying to limit, I guess, the spread of it back into America. As I said, like we'll have the zone maps that are updated by Canada, the links to it. The last one was updated on 9/21, and pretty much it doesn't look like you're going to be bringing them back from most of Canada. Doesn't look like if you're going to hunt. Yeah, that's a lot of areas. So there's a lot of areas, you know, there's pretty much from Saskatchewan to Quebec, Alberta, Ontario, you aren't going to be able to bring it back. It does look like if you're going to hunt in British Columbia, though, you can bring your birds back with you. And I'm not an expert in Canadian geography, but if you're hunting like up north, you can bring your birds back because they aren't in the control area yet. But how do you know like when the birds are flying from one control zone into a non-control zone? That's the question.
I'm pretty sure that those birds fly, for them it would be south.
Yeah.
So what if you shoot a Canadian bird in the United States? Do you have to ship it back, or how does this work?
I'm not going to comment on that. There's some thoughts in my head of what I could say, but once they're in America, just like everything else, you're an American now. I mean, so you don't have to worry about it here. I think that's the sense behind it. If you shoot in America, it's already coming into America, the bird. And it's part of the migration route. I think I don't know many birds that actually stay in like the northern parts of the country, or the continent, because a lot of birds travel from here, Canada, United States, down to Mexico and South America, and then come back up. So I don't know of any testing. I haven't found any being done here in America, but I think it's just these zones. It's just to limit the chance of it coming out here, which is kind of, in my sense, weird in a way, because I feel like if you're going to bring your game meat back, you're going to eat it. And the only way I could really understand it's being transmitted with my basic knowledge is through ingestion. So you'd be leaving like the scraps out and another bird kind of gets a hold of it, or a sense like, or an animal gets a hold of it that the bird eats, and from so on goes that way. But if you're going to eat the bird meat, I don't see how the outbreak could be as bad here.
I mean, again,
from meat. brought in.
My limited knowledge of the game birds like that, don't most of the time they just breast them out, package them up?
Yeah, but the string, I guess, lives in the meat. There's like a bacterial in a way.
Does it die when you cook it?
Yeah, that's why they say you can bring it cooked back. If you smoke it or cook it, it's dead. But to bring it back, you have to have that wing attached to it to show what type of bird it was. And or you can take it to a taxidermist up and get it taxidermied up in Canada. That's USDA certified. That's what they do down in Mexico because they have all the cleaning and all that stuff. They go through to clean it all out.
Making things difficult.
They are. I'm not the biggest, I like to duck hunt, geese hunt and all that, but like I'm not the biggest into, I don't see, traveling to Canada. I guess maybe if you live in like Minnesota or like the northern states, you might hop across the border to hunt them. But for the most part, it's not like you're spending thousands of dollars to travel up to Canada to hunt birds. Right. When I feel you can hunt them just as well in like North Dakota, South Dakota, like the northern areas where the birds are going to migrate into anyways. But I'm not sure how that works necessarily. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Right now, as long as they aren't in the zones, you can bring them back. The question is, what is going to happen? I mean, it has to end with an all outright ban of Canadian birds, right? I'm not psychic, but
I don't know.
It was similar to when the H1N1 outbreak happened. When duck season opened up in Canada, they did something similar, and then it became an outright ban. So I'm predicting that's what's going to happen here shortly.
I'm baffled because the birds fly. They fly south. They come into the United States. If you shoot them there, it's the same thing. If you shoot them wherever you're shooting them at, it doesn't matter the location that you are. They're getting harvested, and then you're trying to eat them.
Yeah.
Why can't you bring them? As long as you.
I mean, they're saying you can still bring them. They just made it unnecessarily complicated.
Overly complicated.
Yeah.
What if you smoke them up there, but yet you come down here and you want to try out some fancy recipe that you saw on Headline Outdoors?
That's fine, as long as it's cooked and you cooked it with that damn wing smoked on it. better get your Headline Outdoor recipe while you're up there to make it that way to bring it down. So at least you have the cooking part done. You can grill it, you can cook it.
Can you eat them raw?
I don't think so. That sounds like you're asking for worms or something nasty. I've never eaten a raw duck. I mean, don't they make like some fancy thing that people pay way too much money for? Raw duck.
So that's where I was thinking that. I don't know.
Raw duck.
I mean, it's from my understanding, if the animal eats nothing but vegetables or grass, that you could actually eat the meat raw and not
but ducks eat like worms and bugs and stuff too. I don't know. I mean, if you can go ahead and eat the raw duck and you can let me know how that tastes. I feel like that's like eating a raw rabbit. You're gonna get something.
I'll try it out on some chicken here later.
Can humans eat raw duck? Is it safe to eat raw duck? They say it is not appropriate to eat it raw, but I mean, you can eat it at medium rare, which is less than chicken.
What about me has been appropriate here lately?
What?
What about me has been appropriate here lately?
That's very true. That is very true. Yeah, eat that raw duck. Can lead to food poisoning, it says, but let me know how it goes. I don't know. I don't want to. I like duck, but I don't know if I could eat it raw. That'd be interesting. Sounds like a fear factor challenge. But on top of bands, just bands on bands on bands, we are now going to ban. Well, like we talked about earlier, the Dall sheep hunting closure is a worrisome trend that's happening in Alaska. They're just for some reason wanting to close all this land down for hunting in Alaska, which is primary revenue for a lot of these areas, because they're like, small villages in Alaska where it's like Africa, where a lot of their tourism is from hunting or fishing. You aren't going to really get the everyday hiker out there. And the Dall sheep hunting is continuing to go on despite this is enacted by the federal government, despite the recommendations of the Alaska Department of Fish and Wildlife up there saying that they need to keep it open, the Dall sheep hunting. It's very interesting to see how this comes. Now they've closed since March. They've now closed 40 federal units in Alaska to Dall sheep hunting, and we'll see how many more closures happen. We'll see how it affects hunting. These are traditionally pretty big Dall sheep units with good Dall sheep that come in them, and I'm very interested to see how this plays out. It's interesting to see, once again, the federal government not listening to the local government's reasonings to not close it. It's a trend you don't really expect to see in a place like Alaska, but with these closures, it looks like we're close to about, with caribou and moose that have been closed in Alaska, we're close to about 40,000 square miles closed. That is a lot. That's a lot of former hunting land. It's interesting, especially, I don't know. You think that this would be something that would be fixed? I mean, one of the persons that have been placed on the federal subsistence board was strongly backed by a quote unquote hunting and angling group, which has had a sketchy history, in my opinion. Not gonna say any names. Very, very common with some of the reasonings, and it's no surprise how this person voted along with closing it in the unanimous vote. Which goes into really look into research of the hunting groups that you're going to donate for. I hear a lot of people when this group came around think, oh, how great it is. Now, once you start looking into the impacts that they had, with voting for this, the hunting and angling group chapter in New Mexico supported a ban on bighorn sheep hunting for non-residents, even though they said it wasn't going to be a ban. It was going to be a non-resident ban, which thank goodness the Game and Fish Department there didn't listen to them. So just listen, do a little research on these hunting groups you're going to be joining, that you're thinking of giving your money to, because they aren't all what they came out to be. They're wolves in sheep clothing.
That's correct.
And since we're not billionaires here, we're not going to say the names because we don't want to get sued. But yeah, you'll figure it out. Very, very quick Google search will be a very, very simple for me. I did one just to kind of see it. Yeah, it's a little crazy. And I'm starting to see on like hunting groups that people that have joined them are starting to like remove them from their donation. Would you care to comment, Dustin? Your face says it all. Dustin has no comment for the people listening, but if you watch our YouTube channel, you will get all his commented that is needed. Yeah. Oh, Lord. And we will be right back from a quick word from our great sponsors over at Pure Pro. with hunting season opening up, definitely want to check yourself out a Pure Pro product seat cushion.
100% American made. Pure Pro is the leading company for outdoor cushions, with multiple comfortable styles to meet your hunting and fishing needs, like their flat cushions, low back cushions, or high back cushions. Don't forget about the rail sleeves. Check out which style best fits your needs at pure-pro.com.
As we said, with hunting season opening up across the world, or the country, hunting season usually open up across the world. Be ready to have your butt and sitting comfortably with Pure Pro products. You know, I'm excited to use them up in this stuff, so I'm not having cactuses and rocks behind me and sticking in every which way. So I'm really excited to get out there and be using it this year. Speaking of that, if you want to hunt Arizona next spring for javelina, turkey, or bison, the spring draw is open from now until I believe October 11th. So if you want to watch me cuss out a javelina hunt again, you'll be more than welcome to see that happen. I'm changing the units up this year. I'm going to a unit where I've not hunted yet, but it can't be any worse than the unit I've been in. So, especially, I guess I found out after my hunt last year, I was talking to you, there was like some worm that went through the javelina population, that unit that like decimated most of them. I have Game and Fish pulled up their like success ratings for the units, like the people that hunt fill out the hunter surveys and stuff, and it was like 20% of that unit. So I didn't feel as bad, but still, I was like, gosh, what the hell? It was close by, simple, but I'm not doing that anymore because me and javelinas have a hate for each other.
Understood.
Oh man. Speaking of hunting opportunities, though, you are hunting in Michigan and you want to hunt Sleeping Bear Island. So if you don't know what Sleeping Bear Island is, it is a one of a kind hunt is what it's described here as, on a 1,500 acre Lake Michigan island with dunes and inland lakes. Looks really cool, actually. You're going to be hunting like the dunes and stuff with mountains. We'll have a picture up on our Instagram, Facebook, so you can kind of see what Sleeping Bear Island looks like. Definitely be a different type of hunt. I think, especially in Michigan. My friends that hunt back there, like kind of like Virginia, you're kind of in a tree stand, a little swampy, foresty. It'll be pretty cool. You know, you have the hunt will run from October 28th to November 5th. And you have until September 17th to submit your applications. Applications will be going to the National Park Service. So you have to email, a fax, or mail them to them with a $50 application fee.
People still fax.
National Park Service does. So dust off your fax machine or go to wherever a fax machine is at and you can fax it in. We'll have definitely put a little bit more information on this as well. Then the link to the site here in one of our Facebook posts, and also the link in here. So you will be able to keep it if you would like to go hunt the lovely Sleeping Bear Island, and be pretty cool. I wish I was free during that time, because I'd actually just put in for it just to see if I could get drawn. But we got to give
weapon. What type of weapon do they have to use?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question, because let's see. Knife. Yeah, you gotta hide under the sand. You can maybe take with rifles, handguns, crossbows, bows, shotguns, muzzleloaders, and black anything. If it shoots, you can use it. Or black powdered handguns. You must wear hunter orange. Can't bait deer. And to get there, you must take the ferry, charter a boat, or boat yourself over there. There's Do not bring your boat if you expect a safe anchorage or dock facility. It says in big words. So I don't know if that's just one of those disclaimers they have to have there, but
Okay.
yeah, it sounds interesting. There's no you bring drinking water or water purification. You must bury your human excrement 6 to 8 inches deep or throw it in your backpack and pack it out. The use of chainsaws or motorized equipment are prohibited. So there is a limit of 4 people and 2 tents per site in the campground. Up to 10 people are allowed in backcountry groups. Interesting. It sounds fun, actually.
Wait, is it a park, a national park?
It is a national lake shore. So it's ran by the National Park Service.
It was something I was either listening to or reading that were saying that some of the national parks, you cannot have motorized like vehicles or airplanes flying over or anything in that certain zone.
Yeah, that and like out west, we have wilderness areas. And wilderness areas, you can only walk in, come in by horse. That's it. You can't land a plane or helicopter in it. There's no motorized vehicles or anything. Everything has to be self-propelled.
They were even talking about, if they go in to say clean up a trail, they can't, they're not even allowed to take chainsaws in to clean that up.
Yeah. They try to keep it as natural as possible. They're up there with like axes and stuff like that.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. That's what it looks like. Just reading this is what this is gonna be like. So yeah, it'll be fun. If you want to do it, if you listen to us and you actually get to go on the hunt, we would love to hear about the hunt as well. That would be pretty cool. I think this is something that I think the National Park Services is starting to do. If I know in Arizona, you can hunt the Grand Canyon for bison at one point with a special permit with them. I think they're starting to realize, hey, maybe we need hunters to help out with some of these wildlife issues we're having.
Make a little extra money.
Yeah, $50 for an application. Whew. For deer, especially in Michigan. How much is a deer license in Michigan?
When I put in that alligator tag in South Carolina, it was like $2 or $5. It wasn't much. But talking to the lady, she was saying it's like thousands of people that put in for it.
Well, I bet. Yeah, I mean, a deer license in Michigan is $30 now for residents, so it went up $15. Damn inflation. Sorry, but yeah, I mean, alligator hunting in South Carolina. I mean, whew, they got monsters out there. It just, yeah. If you haven't seen this is going to be a very large gator taken from a South Carolina lake. The gator was 13 feet long. It was 625 pounds big. You can see it right behind me here. Very big gator. I don't know how to get out of the way. I guess I'll just duck. That's the gator. The big gator. It was taken. It's the biggest one of the year in this lake. And it's pretty much been the biggest one up to date for this year. It looks like this guy's business gets between 90 to 100 gators during the alligator season, which runs from September 10th to October 8th. This is South Carolina's biggest gator, though, was 6 inches bigger, but weighed 1,025 pounds. Do you imagine trying to wrestle that thing into your boat?
No.
Yeah.
They're going to have some kind of crane or something to get that up.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Out of the 1,000 alligator tags that are submitted that are drawn to hunt gators in South Carolina, roughly 300 gators are taken. And if you're like Dustin, put in there are last year 8,381 people applied for the alligator hunt in South Carolina. So you have about a 1/8 of a chance to win. No, that's not correct. A very slim chance to win, to get a gator tag. But I mean, for that price, might as well do it.
Yeah, they got the whole point system down there too, which I don't understand.
You know, you get to deal with our Western State Fund. Then that's all we do out here is the point system. But if you want to be a winner, you can win here at D&D Outdoors. We are giving away. I'm gonna have to take my background off here, just because apparently this doesn't like so you guys get to see my lovely house or my lovely office. We're giving away a pack of nocturnal knocks. All you gotta do to win is, what should be the secret word, Dustin?
What's the name brand of those?
Nocturnal by Fernandai Outdoors.
What's the S word right there?
Shift. It's just the name. It's just a shift, because this one, the cool things about these, a lot of nocturnal light, like you have to have a little tool to push it off, you know. But with these, it has this little button. When you turn it off, it just, so you don't have to have the tool. You can just slide the button and turn the light off after you retrieve your animal or find your arrow. Let's do this. Shift. All right, the secret word is going to be shift. So comment on our Instagram or Facebook post with shift for one entry. We'll have more rules on our Facebook page. But if you're listening, put a picture in the comments or tag us in like your story thing on like Instagram or Facebook of you with the Headline Outdoors app downloaded too. And we'll give you an additional 10 entries for that. And, you know, we'll just have a couple more rules on our page that you just have to follow, you know, the legal mumbo jumbo. But if you share the post and all that, will be an additional entry. And yeah, we'll have it all written out in our post, but be sure to put in the secret word shift for a secret amount of additional entries. So that way we know you listen and you just aren't creeping on our Facebook or Instagram.
That's right.
But thank you guys very much for listening to us today. We're really happy hunting season's back. You know, be sure as always, like and subscribe to us on Facebook, Instagram. You want to see our pretty faces, you can see us on YouTube as well. You want to put our face to the voice. As always, give us 5 stars on wherever you listen to this podcast. Like and subscribe. We have seen a very big uptick in listeners and followers. So that's really exciting. You know, the more that you guys listen, the more we can do like fun giveaways, maybe even do bigger giveaways eventually. And, you know, thank you all very much for listening. Have a great rest of your day. And if you are heading to work, it will be over soon.